What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, I have a special guest with me today. I have my beautiful mother with me here today. Mom, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Anna. I'm Eliasad's mom.
Yes, sir. As you guys can see from today's title, we are going to be doing a mukbang today. We got our food ready. Got our tacos, our burritos from Roberto's. If you guys don't know, that's the spot on Broadway. Make sure you guys go check them out. They got some bomb Mexican food. But yeah, I had posted on my Instagram no talk about you know, just while we're doing this whole mukbang thing, and so we're gonna be doing those that you guys asked me to talk about. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications too, so that way you're updated with every video that I post. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so you wanted to talk about the which one? Either the one about you being a strict parent? Okay. Sure. Okay. So guys, first topic we're going to talk about today is the somebody had asked if growing up my mom was a strict parent. So I don't know. You wanna start that one, or should I?
Go ahead. I want to see your input on that. I want to see.
I mean, you were strict, but I know there's way more parents that are like way more strict than what you were. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't really consider it strict because it's kind of just like been our lifestyle. Like, I know some kids think like, oh, my parents put me in sports and this because they're strict and they don't want me doing stuff. But like, I don't know, the way I saw it is like that was kind of just like our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Right? Like,
well, as far as the sports and everything, growing up, when you're raised in a neighborhood, and you have gangs, it's either you're going to be in a gang or you're going to be in sports. It can go either way. Growing up, I saw a lot of things that kind of defined or changed my direction as to which way I would go. So a lot of things I paid attention and I watched, and I decided at a very young age that I would raise you a certain way that you wouldn't fall into that gang mentality, the gang life.
Yeah. So
I loved softball, football, you know. I just loved sports in general because it was something different to do. So that's why I involved you and your brother and your sister in sports. It occupied so much time that you had no time to hang out with the homies or hang out after school and get into trouble or things like that. Some people might say that, well, you have to experience life, and I don't think that's something I wanted you to experience, was the gang life. So that's why I put you in sports. Now, as far as being strict, I was raised in a house where my grandfather was very strict. It wasn't, and I didn't see it as strict. I saw it as structure. It was more of, you know, you have one job, you're a child, and your job is to do good in school, you know, don't give us problems, and, you know, just be a kid, you know, enjoy life.
And it's kind of crazy that you say that too, because like I would look at like other kids at my school and it wasn't that way. So I was like, to see my perspective and then like another kid's perspective, it was kind of like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. You know, like I couldn't see myself in their shoes because of the way we were raised. So like you said, like you put us in sports so that we wouldn't get into trouble. And I would look at it, like I would look at other kids that would just like go to school and then they go straight home after, and I'd be like, I couldn't do that. Like, I'd be bored out of my mind. Like, I was always on a schedule, like school, practice, then go home after, and then same thing all over the next day. So like, that's the crazy part that I saw from it too. So.
Yeah, I saw a lot of friends get into drugs. I saw a lot of friends, you know, get into fights, end up in jail. And it's just a life that I didn't want to see my kids growing up in. Although you were raised in the neighborhood, it wasn't impossible. It's not something that can't be done. I know that some people say, oh, you know, well, I'm in the hood and I'm raised in the hood and you can't get the hood out. But no, you can do anything. You can, it's just structure. That's all it is, you know, and your kids are going to do what they want to do, you know, regardless. You know, sometimes you try really hard as a parent, you know, kids don't come with instructions. Myself being a young parent, I learned from watching my grandparents. You know, I was raised by my grandparents, and that's what I learned. That was my model, you know. Mom stays home, dad goes to work, and you raise the kids. And so that was how I was raised, and I feared my grandfather more than I feared the cops. You know, if I did something, I had to face my my grandfather, and that was scarier, you know, than fearing the cops. So I just didn't want to bring grief or disappointment to my parents, you know. So, but, you know, of course you get in trouble. I never ended up in jail or anything like that. I didn't do the drug scene. I liked going out, but my thing was always fighting. I was always fighting. But thank God I never ended up in jail or in prison for any of that.
Capping. She's capping. I've heard all the stories, guys.
Oh.
And
No.
Cap. Nah, I'm kidding.
So, you know, sometimes, like I said, if there wasn't money, there isn't any money, you know, you have old school grandparents, you know, it was all about work and take care of your family. And my husband and I decided, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to put them in something, and there's not going to be time to get into mischief or trouble.
Yeah.
Which...
I'm just kidding.
Nobody's perfect, but you try, you know? You try.
You want to eat your burrito?
Oh, yes. I am. It's a big burrito.
Oh my God.
boy, if you don't get
But yeah, guys, I mean, like, I don't consider my mom, like, that she was, like, strict. But like she said, like, it was just structure. So that's why, like, I can't complain, because, like, I wouldn't be here where I am without the way her and my dad raised me and my siblings. So, like, I'm grateful for that, you know, because I'm still alive today, when I know, like, a lot of people that are my age or younger have, like, died already. So, and like she said, like, when you're from the neighborhood and there's gangs and stuff like that, you know, like, it makes you think, like, saying, like, that could have been me, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that, right? You want to get into the other one?
Okay.
Where we at? We're at like 10 minutes now, so
Okay.
let's see. We're gonna talk about one more other topic, guys. I know, like, not many of you know, like, our story or anything like that, you know, like the whole situation with my father passing away. But one of the questions was, what was it? How do you deal with my father passing?
How do you accept?
How do you accept it? Yeah, so they asked, how do you accept the fact that you know, like, that my father passed away? So that's kind of like the other topic that we're gonna get into right now. You want to start it off, or like you'll show your part and then mine, or you want me to go first?
No, you go first.
Well, me and my mom were talking about it, and it's like dealing with it and accepting it are like two different things in a way, you know. But at the end of the day, like, you kind of do just gotta accept it for what it is, you know, because like we can't control that, you know, only God can. And at the end of the day, it's his say, you know, when he calls us to go home. So, you know, like, yeah, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna, like, you know, you're gonna question it, like, why this, why that, but you can't, you know, because we're not God, and, you know, we can't do that because we don't have that power to, you know. So like, you just gotta find, like, for me for instance, I found something within myself that like kept me going and kept me pushing through to get through that. So I think that's why, like, and like they said, like, how do you accept it? I've pretty much accepted it for what it is. And, you know, like, I know, like, all of us have, like, we're all gonna go on our own time. So that's why, like, when I talk about this topic, like, I don't really cry or, like, get, like, real emotional about it, because it's, like, I've already accepted it, if that makes sense, you know? Because I know a lot of people don't like to bring it up to me either, because, like, they don't want me to, like, start crying or anything like that. But, like, all honesty, like, I'm past that. Like, yeah, I have my moments, but that's, like, when I'm by myself, you know? Like, I don't really show it when I'm with other people or anything, because that's just, like, time for me and myself. But, yeah, like, talking about it and all that, like, I'm past that. I'm good. Like, I'm okay to talk about it, you know? But, yeah, like I said, like, I found something that helped me get through it, and that's pretty much all I did, you know. I just try to find something that would help me keep going. And so, yeah, that's like my way of dealing with it, but then also accepting it too. Like, that's why, like, I'm content and I'm good, I'm okay, you know, like,
Yeah, you're at peace.
yeah, I'm at peace with it. So, yeah.
So, for me, it was, death isn't something, I'm not going to say it's easy. I've experienced it before. The passing of my own father at a young age. This is where my grandfather took over, you know.
How old are you, Mom?
I was 6 when my dad passed away.
So you're even younger than me.
I was really young.
I was 13 when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So then you were 6.
I was 6, but I remembered, and it was really painful. Really painful at 6. Your daddy's little girl, you know, but it's painful for anybody. I'm not saying that it's not. But my husband, it's different. It was different because that was my partner that I, you know, thought was gonna be for life. He was supposed to be my forever, and to lose him at a young age. Well, I was not that young, but I was 42. It was hard. It was really hard. It was different. It was a different kind of loss. What kept me focused was this child right here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Because he was 13 at the time, and I had to pretty much hold it down for him, keep it together for him and for myself. And it was hard because he's watching, you know, your child's watching you and looking at you to see what you're gonna do and handle it. And like he said, you know, we have our moments. I had my moments. We're able to talk about him now without crying. We're getting emotional. You know, there's memories that we have, and they're funny. You know, we crack up and we laugh. There's songs that come on, and it brings me to tears. You know, he's not here. You know, we're not in control of that. Do I accept it? I have to. I have no choice but to, because again, that's God. That was God's calling, and when your number's up and your days are counted, you gotta go.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. You know. Did I hurt? Do I hurt? Yes, I do. I'll always have them in my heart, along with everybody else that we've lost. What I did was I got into church. I got into church, and he had to come with me, and not realizing that it was actually helping him. Something that I did for myself, you know, actually helped him out also. So I think.
No, yeah, like of course.
Okay.
Like, it helped me obviously, because like obviously I learned stuff, and then like I said, because even now, like, I have people that come to me like, hey dude, like how do you deal with this, or how do you, you know, like how do you deal with like the loss of somebody, or you know, certain situations like that. And like going to church too, like it opened my eyes and made me realize a lot of things too. And like I said, when I found something that motivated me and kept me going, it was because I was in church. And you know, learning everything that I know now, it really helped me, because it allowed me to find something that motivated me. And when I didn't realize it, but I pretty much did it already when I was little, and that was the promise that I made to him. Excuse me. And I didn't even know it, you know, like at the time I was like what, like 6, 7?
You were little
when I made him that promise.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you guys real quick, it was pretty much just, I promised him, because he used to take me to like the park and stuff and like play catch with me and all that. And on our way back home, like I promised him and told him like I was gonna make it to the pros, and I was gonna buy him and my mom a brand new house, brand new car. Like I was gonna take care of them pretty much.
Aww.
And like that was pretty much my goal. Like from that point on, you know, like that's what I strived for. And so like when he passed, like I didn't know what to do, you know. And so like I used that to motivate me to just keep me going, because like my mom said, like I was looking at her, and like I know she was looking at me, and I think that's what helped us get through it, because we both helped each other out in a way. You know, like I kept focused on what I needed to do, and she did her part, I did my part. And I think that's why we were able to get through it so well. So yeah, like that was pretty much our way of dealing with it and accepting it. So
yeah,
that's about it.
that's about it.
All right, guys, so that's pretty much our little mukbang. You know, like a little conversation that we had. How do you feel about it? You feel good? Great? Everything needed to be said. Like I said, I hope you guys loved the video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications too, so you're updated with every time I make a new video. But like I said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.
And I hope it brought clarity
That
to some
too.
people,
Yes.
or everybody, or whoever needed to hear this.
Yeah, especially those of you that asked me those questions. Like, I hope we answered everything that you were looking for, and I hope that this video helped. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.